we're going to explain how to escape single quotes in SQL. SQL uses single quotes to delimit strings, so if you need to include a single quote within a string, you have to tell the database it's part of the data, not the end of the string. There are several ways to handle this, depending on your specific SQL dialect, like MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, etc. But the core concept remains similar. 1. Using double single quotes. This is the most common and often the simplest method. You escape a single quote by doubling it. So if you want to insert the string O'Reilly into a database, you would write it as O'Reilly. The database sees the two single quotes together as a single literal single quote within the string. This works across many SQL databases. 2. Using the escape clause for more complex scenarios. Some database systems allow using an escape clause within your SQL statement. This is particularly handy when you have many single quotes or other special characters to deal with. The escape clause defines an escape character which precedes a character that needs to be treated literally. For example, you might specify a /pla as your escape character, O'Reilly. Depending on the specific SQL system used, this might need to be written differently. The exact syntax may vary. Check your database documentation for the precise way to use the escape clause. It's important to remember that the escape character itself also has to be handled appropriately in the string. 3. Using prepared statements or parameterized queries. This is generally the best practice for security and avoiding SQL injection vulnerabilities. Prepared statements treat data separately from the SQL command itself, reducing the risk of errors and malicious code injection. Instead of directly embedding the string into the SQL query, you use placeholders, like Elm in many systems, that are filled with values later. The database driver handles the escaping automatically, removing the need for manual escaping of single quotes. This is particularly useful with complex or user-supplied data. 4. Using other delimiters, if supported. Some databases, though not all, offer the ability to use different delimiters for strings, like double quotes. If your database supports this, using double quotes can simplify situations where you have many single quotes in your data. However, consistency in your coding style is critical, so this solution shouldn't be relied upon if your database system supports the other methods detailed here. Remember to always consult the documentation for your specific database system, MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, Oracle, etc. to confirm the correct syntax and best practices for escaping single quotes in SQL. Using prepared statements is highly recommended for security and maintainability, regardless of how you manage escaping single quotes. Ignoring escaping entirely can lead to SQL injection vulnerabilities, which is a severe security risk.